Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's October 15th, 2024. We've arrived at fall, perhaps, here in Austin. And it's really nice outside, so yeah, cheers to that. Hope the change of season is treating you well. Today we're going to be looking at probably some losses, I think, of recent ladder games. Of course, tonight we have the Bar Academy event going on, so maybe I can get a practice game or two in to even review there. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, we've got Coochie versus Alt F4. Pretty great matchup here, actually. So a bit of context: these two played in the Bar Pro League Season 4 Group B, right? That was Andy, Teddy, Alt F4, and Coochie. And Coochie won his series versus Alt F4. I think we actually watched that game together. It's pretty great series. Decent video too. Maybe you can find it. Should be in the log somewhere. Let me get this set up while I'm scooting around here. Pull this chat window up. What do we have here? So Alt F4 is going arm bots, of course, as always, and he does something that I tried messing around with for a while, and it's this 2-mech start here. Really far forward. It's nice for a few reasons, of course, like playing with ticks, like, you know, classic Alt F4. You get to the enemy side of the map so much quicker. And I also like to think that having this close energy is not negligible advantage, right? This Resbot can get to work very quickly, but Alt F4 has got 3 expanding cons behind him. He's still harassing, so these incisors are being kept at bay. And you know, the last time I talked to Chisato, he actually said that arm bots are pretty decent versus core vehicles, so maybe this is just Alt F4 getting lucky, but Okuchi's gonna call GG, so wow, I know we kind of stepped into that game as it was playing, but maybe I can take a look back at the replay real fast. But yeah, here's the lobby. Let me see if I can get back in the game. If not, I'd be happy to watch these two play again. I'm sure Coochie wants to go another round. He's jumping into the replay, so might as well see how that one went down. Looks like they've played 2 games actually. Let's see, going into the game. So
you are now
like
playing.
I'm playing in the lobby, yeah. So let me just take a look at Alt F4's open and see exactly how he does this 2-mechs arm bots start. 2-mechs arm bot start. Check this here. All right.
Battle started.
Zoom in on like 3x or something. Hey, Volshock. Good to see you, man. I think this is Total Annihilation, right? I could be wrong. Alright, this is some random game I just downloaded, so checking it out. So it's a 2-mechs, 4 wins, bot lab, and then you go Resbot, 2 ticks, 2 pawns, tick, 2 pawns. Okay, I like this open. This is great, look at this. And then he assists the lab. Even like when dropping is... this is why I hate playing against Alt F4, because like when dropping I think favors him in a way, because these ticks are so cheap, right? Compared to like people trying to make con first or something, like 1600 energy. So that's an interesting start. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, I like that. Hey Zach, yeah, we just wanted to watch quickly the last game Coochie played versus Alt F4. I kind of stepped into like the middle of it. I wasn't quite sure how the early game went. Oh, I don't want to play Coochie on this map. Different map. What map do we want to play Gucci on? Oh, Turbo's here in the lobby. That's great. I should probably make a suggestion if I want to call for a different map, right? Arkham Cats, how about that? A burn rate's asking, isn't starting forward always better? Easier to expand in multiple directions, right? I would say that you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage if your opponent does like a 3-mech start, right? Or at least are on 3 mechs
Please
to
choose
take
your
quickly. Like
starting
you can still do a
location.
2-mech start on like 3 metal spots, but really 2 mechs versus someone who's always going to be going 3 mechs, I feel like you're kind of behind in metal. The mistake to not do it. So yeah, Zach, practicing and reviewing my own gameplay really helped me improve. That is true, man. That's how you get it done. You can also come to the Bar Academy, hint, hint, and ask for Tag App Mentor. And there's a lot of us there who are more than happy to look at replays with you, or at least come to the Academy events. I've been hosting those every Tuesday, actually. Should be in the main Discord. On the events tab. Let's see. So it's 19 wind speed. I can get away with a Resbot assisted contour open. Ugh, that's a mouthful, right? I want to expand with my commander like this. Make a couple of LLTs and a radar. This is a great spot for a radar and like an LLT here. And then suddenly, all I really need to focus on is like keeping a radar coverage up in this area and like managing my factory correctly. So hopefully that plan works out. We'll see how it goes.
Battle started.
Wind's trending up, so I can get away with one less wind turbine. Yeah, Zach, you gotta make time for what's a priority, right? Very true. Wind's going down. I think I should just do... the 4th max, we'll see, our 4th wind. I don't think I'll need that. Really?
Low power.
We'll see. I'm gonna continue making wins for a second here.
Low power.
So the thing you need to do against arm bots with grunts is just take up space on the map, because you can't defend them perfectly every time. He'll make mistakes, so... You just gotta get out there and be aggressive and force them to make trades on their side of the map, and then like keep drawing out these lines. Okay, there's his commander. It's good to know. Oh, that's not good. Trying to fix my E issues right now. I need to scale wind better. Ooh, that's not good.
Radar lost. Low power.
Need to get an air lab up.
Aircraft spotted.
I don't know where his main is, but his commander should be down here, so I don't have to worry about D-gun if I go in the top lane. So maybe I wait for these thugs to show up and make a T2 transition. Something like that. I was greedy with the air cons. I don't nearly need this many.
Low power.
I don't need air cons. What am I doing? Or anti-air turrets. My scout. Let me figure out where his commander's at.
T2 unit detected.
Okay, so he's on T2. T2 bots. Looks like. I guess I could go T2 air, honestly, if he's gonna do that.
Radar lost. Low power. Radar lost.
Jeez. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh, wow. I think that was good. Okay. Need another. Hmm. This is hilarious. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so he's on T2 air. Why am I making T3 if he's on T2 air? Like the only way he wins. What am I trying to make with this, actually?
Nuclear missile silo detected.
I just finished my antidote.
T3 unit is ready.
I think I could have won that game earlier, maybe,
Destroyed.
but I was just playing really safe to not lose, but I
Low
almost lost
power.
playing passive, so. Ooh, that was kind of intense. I just felt like the whole time he's just like making APHIS and I'm behind somehow, but should be more proactive, like make them have the card, so to speak. It's kind of what I remember from playing Magic. GG's, I guess I have to play again. Shit, Alt F4. I kind of want to play him on a different map, but who knows. I kind of want to watch Sash Goran play. And take a little bit of a breather after that one. That was kind of intense. Cool, cool. Okay, so here's what we want. Maybe we can get a co-caster on here. Let's see what happens. Woof, that was intense, guys. Sorry, just trying not to lose. Yeah, leave a like, comment if you enjoy that kind of stuff. These stressful like high level 1v1 games, but it's hard to talk in those honestly when I'm just trying to like navigate the game. I think I really slow down past the, like, once you get into the T2 air stuff, I'm like, I don't know what hotkeys to do, so just so infrequent in 1v1s. That's why I feel like these players like Sash or X Factor really do have an advantage when the games go T2, right? Because they do know how to macro well, right, in these slower games. But like just auto, of course, you know. So there's a lot of the game to learn. Like once you get past the T1 shenanigans and I mean, a lot of volatility in those games on it. So many of these 1v1s I remember from the last season, right, ended before T2, right? So probably went so long because of my lack of ability to close out games, or maybe Kuchi's propensity, like what he went T2 into mass. What's that unit with the like the little Gatling gun, the Sprinter, right? Anyways, that was a fun game. Pretty stressful. We're on to the next one though. So Alt F4 versus Sash Goran. Sash Goran
Battle started.
really improved a lot over this past year. And what is he, like 5th on the leaderboard? 7th? Oh no. Pretty high up there, right? And of course Alt F4 is, I really want his style to work, and he seems to be the only person really consistently practicing it. Like playing 1v1s is, like playing arm bots is like the guy who comes to mind to me is Alt F4, right? So we'll see what he does. 2 mechs on a 3 mechs position. You can do this. I would say, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm thinking it's to get the earlier resbot, right? Wind is so good, and with the reclaim, this just gets you a faster con turret. So, see what our man Sash Goran's gonna be doing. 3 max, 3 win, bot lab. Took a nice sip of water. Gotta stay hydrated. Let's see if he does that wind turbine style where you just don't move the commander for the next 5 minutes, right? This commander's just gonna sit right there. I've been playing like that for the past couple days, and it is really strong. Not gonna lie. Having you just think, all right, how many cons do I need to split the map, right? 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. In whatever order you want to do, right? Maybe 6 cons. Well, you just queue up 6 cons with some ratio of grunts, and then grunts on repeat, and you make the expansions, make radars, and just focus on defending it. And your commander is like utilizing his build power super efficiently, never moving for the wins, and always staying on assisting the lab. So it's like you have this really nice mix of, it's like strong unit production, good scaling, and I guess good expanding, right? You're just considering how many cons do I need to expand all over the map. Let's see what he did. So it's three cons is pretty greedy, right? And I like how he's staying on the plateau with his grunts. There's just 1 out on the board, but yeah, that was a nice pullback there. Playing conservative with that grave robber. I like that move. Kind of just beelining right towards the commander, essentially. Alt F4 has got the con turret up. Working on his 4th con, his commander is already making an energy converter to balance his E. I love it, but he's naked expanding. I do want to see a radar hill here on the hill. It's pretty good, right? Like any of these spots. Great for radar. And you don't have to go out of your way, right? So who am I to judge though? And this is nice, right? Staying on the plateau, defending this expanding con, getting a radar up, capping these mexes. Is this gonna continue expanding? Yeah. right into mid. Take a look at that chat window. Sorry. So from the last game, burn rate. Sorry, I didn't catch your message, but yeah, I do AFK units a lot, and he's saying that's probably how I lost him. Was the commander? I wasn't sure where he was at. That is a good point. His commander, I don't even notice there was a mech here until just now, but yeah. Maybe his commander was down there. I didn't see it in the main at all, which there was a point in that last game where like he had units up here on the high ground. I had a massive like T1 army, and I'm like, well, I'm already ahead right now from this position. I don't need to like really go up the ramp. I mean, maybe I end the game right there. Maybe I throw it, you know, and just donate all the metal. But I think I could have been quicker to scale my T2 energy and gotten into T2 air faster. Because like if I had gotten air control at any point with like map control and air control, you just bomb the geo here, just bomb the base, right? That's the play. So there's a game going on right now. Sorry guys. So Alt F4 is trying to clean up some of these grunts, right? But he lost what, 2 mexes over here. Console AFK. I'm really worried about this pack of 9 grunts moving right down the middle of the map. And this can be the strength of the commander that still hasn't moved, right? Just been on the lab assisting the whole time. So perfect use of build power, right? This is a nice catch. Sporn moving into the main base, even killing wind turbines. That is a lot of damage right there. Getting on top of the main is pretty huge. He's got 2 uncapped mexes in his main. These 3 mexes have been destroyed. So the advantage he would have, you know, being out on the map with his commander expanding more is just kind of lost, right? He wasn't able to secure his plateau. Not all the stuff his commander actually built is going to go down. Pretty solid game from our man Sash, who's just going to waltz through the factory now. Continue adding on wind turbines. Pretty solid. Let's take a look and see how Sash plays. First person. I mean, he has to know this commander's over here, right? Damn, grunts are pretty good against LLTs. That was pretty nice. Hmm. 600 metal in the bank. What's the transition gonna be? Vehicles, alright. And an energy storage. See, that was kind of hard to catch, but yeah, when you have a couple, like, I mean, 200 metal in the bank, you're not really sure what to spend it on. Put down an energy storage for sure. They're kind of insane. Don't want to access that sweet energy. I want to convert it or put naked tanks with it, pretty much. This is really nice damage. Like finding these, finding these cons and resbots that were kind of still out on the map. And Alt F4 is having a hard time taking this plateau even. Yeah, Rex are good. He's gonna make LLTs in his main to defend against grunts. What's going on, Zelo? Nice to see you, man. Been noticing you playing some 1v1s more recently, seems like. Hope that means you're getting ready for the next fight night or something. I don't think I've seen you playing a fight night. But then again, you were on the leaderboard, actually. right? Hey, MT King. Good to see it. This is live, yeah. This is going on right now. I say Sash is in like a commanding position right now. He's got all the metal to spend on these like exploiters now. Yeah, the game is live actually. Yep. Hey Zach, that's an interesting question. So I think YouTube does it synergizes more with the YouTube videos I make, right? Like the live broadcasts are on my YouTube channel, right? And I don't have to compete for like viewing time on Twitch is done live. Like I don't think people watch replay VODs as much as they would say YouTube. Maybe they do, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe people watch a lot of replay VODs on Twitch, but in my mind, like I already have a YouTube channel, so I might as well stream on YouTube. And it's the lazy man's route to having all your content in one place. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot though. So look at this, 2 more energy swords just finished up, right? I wonder if he reclaims these basic solars. I'm wondering if he's thinking about a T2 transition and he wants to have all that metal or all that energy saved up. Oh, I see the Centurion's out, so maybe it's time to point this out. Does he have those in the queue? No, it's just 9 pawns, 4 ticks, 1 con on repeat. It seems like he's kind of stabilized, but he's behind. Alt F4 is behind on mexes, right? Like you'd want a few cons out there on the map trying to fix this, right? Does he send his commander all the way back there? Yeah, that works, I guess. Ah, nice. That's a good point. Zach saying probably get a bigger audience on Twitch. That is a good point. Yeah, Zlo saying he prefers YouTube for streaming on what as well. This push in middle was kind of like one thing Alta 4 had going for him. Like if he was able to stabilize a push around that Centurion and Resbots, maybe he could kind of start snowballing something like rezzing these exploiters. This is not what you want to see it. It's like 20 incisors just coming through, clearing up everything that Alta 4 had expanded to earlier. And I really don't know how he stops these. Unless he like groups up all these pawns and he's able to get some really sick flanking damage, but that's just gonna expose one of these fronts to another attack. Here's all the resbots over on the south side. So five incisors go up the hill. They actually drive up that fairly quickly. But this number of pawns will shut that down. This is what he was going for, reinforcing this attack in mid. This is the part of the game I really like, where you're out still on T1, you have these raiding units, and I missed this transition, but Sashgorin has got 5 bombers moving across the map, and he's got this nice scout that's going to get beautiful coverage. And these hills perfectly protect bombing runs, actually, from anti-air. So you want to be bombing, like, right after cliff. You don't want to be bombing down, like, down hills and whatnot. So we'll see how much damage this can get. Goes after a little bit of the win. Not much of the build power, but I think he's going to be able to get a second pass. And it's interesting to see Alta 4 on two bot labs. Second pass, he's going to go for the build power, it seems. So he gets one of the con turrets, a few more wins. Some of the mexes, right? Last pass. Okay, gets another con turret. That's really not bad, especially when you have like all this tempo advantage on the board, right? So, and I guess he's not done making bombers, right? You can just continue making them. on repeat. Like, yeah, I mean, Alta Force is desperately trying to get up this aircraft plant right now. But that was a really clean air transition here. And notice how Geo's up. It's got a bunch of energy converters, still not accessing energy storage, I mean. So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's beautiful because bombers are so expensive, right, on the energy department. What are they compared to like fighters and stuff like that? So 4,200 energy a piece, right? It's like, well, when you have like 20,000 energy in storage, right? You can buy those all day long, right? At least you can purchase the 5 straight away with the aircon and put like air scout, and put all your build power into this like surprise bombing run. So I think this push here might shut it down, right? Like medium tanks supported by incisors and grunts do a little bit better against the pawns you're trying to like group up and get the flanking damage with, because yeah, the Souths do that AoE damage. But yeah, here's another bombing run queued up, and this one's not gonna be stopped either. So if the first one worked out so well, just keep on hammering it.
Battle ended.
It's like, I guess you're buying more tempo, something like that, right? You have map control, go for a bombing run. Damn, that was a good game. I wonder if they play. I have a feeling he's gonna want to play another one, but I wonder if they should change the map. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe they'll let me pick a map. Let's do short by size, right? I would say like Pawn Retreat or something like that. Hey, Zlo. Nice seeing you, man. Maybe Gecko Isle? I'm not sure. That's a good 1v1 map. On toward Valley. I wonder how this plays. Like I've played one game on it and it was kind of epic, I guess. I mean, the res bots let you get there, right? So I'm not sure. It depends. What do you guys think? The main matcha. Dr. Hoffenmeyer. Saz doesn't even build LLTs as he expands. Yeah, that's true. He eventually transitioned into the exploiters, but yeah, those mexes close to and around your base that you can defend with radar and your factory production. I mean, ideally, yeah, you're super confident in your play and you don't really need LLTs. It's a great style. It sucks when like one unit slips through because you can get a lot of damage, but I mean, if you're confident. Oh shit. That's right, Seshgorn, Renaissance man. I wonder if Ubivitter plays arm pots again. Looks like it. I'm surprised he doesn't spawn like farther up here, but I guess I think I even spawned over here on this mex, right? It's like you don't need you don't need mexes when you have this much metal on the map. So I mean, if enough people tell me to stream on Twitch, I can definitely look into it. But I'm pretty happy with the current situation, right? But I'll look into it. I have to try and find a co-caster. Message back a few moments ago.
Battle started.
All right, here we go. Finally starting. So Sashgoran starting in the top, playing as the red Cortex Commander, and his opponent Alt F4 playing as the blue Armada Commander. We have arrived at Core versus Arm, guys. 1v1 is alive and well, right? And this is a pretty crazy map for 1v1s. How much metal is on this map? 5,700. So, I mean, you can just buy a T2 Lab, right? A main Matcha remake. Lots of metal spots. There's this, like, ravine that runs through the middle. I'm not sure if ships can actually... Is that like low terrain? Ticks can't pass over this, but... Shallow ships can? Anyways, really defensible terrain. I'm not sure if this map will turn into a snooze fest or not, but... I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they can get there. Scorin's opening up 3 mechs. What is that? 3 resbots? Con? 5 grunts? 10 grunts, resbot. Yeah, I like that. With just the 1 con to expand and put down a con turret. I'm wondering if we'll do something like commander goes left, con goes right. Something like that. Meanwhile, Alta 4, pretty standard. He goes 2-3 ticks first out of lab a lot. And it's pretty cool to see because he does oscillate between like super greed and aggression, right? So playing against him, like in theory, is a bit tougher than someone you might otherwise knows exactly how they're going to open. Like, look at this, beautiful. There's so much metal on the map. So it's just about, the name of the game is, do these produce this plus 60? It's just plus 30. Okay. Yeah, he's going to go for the con turret, so really cool to see. I'll grab more metal. Why does he have these on patrol? That's interesting. Does Alt F4 know there's like that much metal on the map? I mean, he made the resbot first, so that makes me wonder, but... Mr. Me-Saver is asking, is there any high OS that don't com expand? If so, why not? So kind of talked about this a little last game. Notice how Scorin's commander just straight up hasn't moved yet, other than like rotating to make these wind turbines. So he is just trying to put as many wind turbines as he can inside this little circle here without moving at all, to just maximize his efficiency between like assisting the lab and scaling energy. So that's the argument to why you would want to stay on the lab with the commander or in the main base, especially in the mirror matchup, like core bots versus core bots. It's like you can end up with a big army value difference. But then the flip side is like when you have like a really decent path for your commander to expand, or it just makes sense to move him somewhere other than the main base on the board. Like some players can say you're playing on like a really small map, like Comet Catcher or something. Suddenly a commander that's moved out of the main base can have this position to like make a forward lab and like strike again. So that makes the commander moving out of the main base very strong. So there's reasons for it and against it. On macro maps, I'm kind of leaning more towards Seshkorn style because you're using the expanding cons to do their thing. Your commander is not at risk ever. And you're being very efficient with the build power, which is something you like made consistent over games. I'm not sure how to say that. There's no like variability in like how quickly you're expanding. Say you do compared to walking with your commander there's not as much like variability, right? You would know hypothetically, like on a solar map, exactly how much energy you'd have, exactly how much you're able to assist the lab, and like how many units. So I like staying in the main base. This is a bit of a blunder. Yeah, you're really in his face, but maybe this is just giving him a chance to naked expand that he wants. So that's a perfect radar here. Maybe you could have made an argument to place a radar here and then here again, like as you're expanding. Because this is what I mean, like a single unit gets through, and I mean he does have res bots around, so this is Alta 4's vision, right? The astute player, the gamer, might see that tree evaporate right there and be like, oh, well, there's a res bot right there. Maybe I should run down. But he doesn't know those are there, and you can quickly kind of pick up that con. So not the biggest deal to lose these cons when you have like so many res bots out. But Sashgoran is demonstrating the counterpunch to that, right? Is you just target the ground and destroy the wreck, right? So that is the perfect counter to that style. So finding like extra value, so to speak, with the grunts. Does he take this trade? The lines are good, man. Drawing lines are really strong in this game. Commander's still expanding, capping mechs, is adding radars and LLTs as he walks, right? So pretty standard stuff. These few grunts are going to get a lot of damage. These grunts, like, how do you even stop this as arm, right? I guess that's why some players can still show the true strength, right? Why this matchup is so infrequently seen, right? Like, dealing with this is just kind of a hassle. A lot of players do straight ticks, right? So instead of pawns, they're using ticks to like overwhelm and get flanking damage. They just kind of like, it's kind of akin to Zerg, I suppose, where you're just waiting to the last second to attack, and then you try and like pounce and get flanking damage or surrounds, right? With the ticks. But yes, I think this game's kind of over. He's gotten all the wind. 414% E advantage. Alta 4 is doing what he can to make solars. The commander still hasn't moved. 300 build power on the lab the entire game, right? Yeah, and 2 con turrets. Probably even assisted this con turret here. So these 3 grunts gonna maybe find damage. Yeah, Wind's die. Wind's dying, so those LOTs, I guess still were doing damage, but look at the stream of grunts moving across the map, right? Just gonna keep the pressure on. No, like, Shuri's to slow this down. Stalling on energy, so these LLTs aren't gonna end up shooting at all, so. And I think this main base might actually end up going down. I mean, there's 1 pawn left. Factory's not even making to try and power these LLTs and con turrets. Yeah, but that's the end of the game. Each even stops production on his lab, so you can just do a transition, right? We'll start pooling metal. You don't really have to do this, and I think a lot of players like reclaim a lab to do a transition, but you can also just stop producing on it for a moment. Took me a whole while to learn that, or kind of understand it. Like, oh, you can just pause the production on the lab. You can do that, especially to balance your E, right? So I'd think about that if you're stalling really heavy. Like, what can I cut while I try and balance this? Autopilot's here. Not really a balanced map. Tangerine could work. Funfish asks, when a player can only play a few games a day, Will it help to get better at the game with more efficiency because of playing less games? I would say that, I mean, if say you only have like 2 hours to practice, I would play for 1 hour and then review games for 1 hour, right? That would be my kind of philosophy. Like if you lose a game, like have the time to review it, right? So that's what I would do for that. Be Saber. Is this a question? If you are ahead, maybe there is no reason to move con. However, how would you know you are ahead? Still think offensive railers could be valuable for both for raids and also for defense. Yeah, that's what makes ARM really strong is the ticks give you line of sight for your raiding. Unlike runs that have like they're slow and have bad line of sight, so they're kind of bad at raiding. It's just like we only really see them doing it versus cores. So it's, anyways, I think you had a question in there somewhere. If you are ahead, maybe there is no reason to move con. Well, I don't know what you're really asking there, but I think you never have you're at a much less chance of like losing your con to something's weird in the mid game if your commander's in your main base, right? So you never have to worry about that. This is a map I'm considering adding to the BPL. Good terrain, differential, a lot of mexes, high wind. I'm wondering how much different or better this map would play out if it was more like a Greenhaven, right? You like put some E reclaim, lower the wind speed, right? And make it maybe close the gap between bots versus vehicles. Because I think at 25 wind speed, you're opening bots, right? Ubi Vader, I love this guy, man. He goes 2 wind turbines into bot lab. Okay, and he's gonna do what, 8 ticks first? 5 ticks? I like 5 ticks. But he's gonna show us something different. Why can't I see? Okay, 5 ticks, con, 2 ticks, pawn. This is awesome. Unfortunately for him, wind is really low, but I mean, Sashgorn doesn't even have a lab started yet, and there's ticks out on that. There's ticks moving out, so 1, 2, 3. Ticks are so perfect for when wind sucks, right? You can adjust your open to make more ticks if wind was truly horrendous, because they are so cheap compared to cons that he's trying to get up, right? He had to make the solar. I mean, there's 5 ticks and there's no units out in the map, so this is the style he's going for, like super macro style, right? Can you defend yourself against these kinds of opens? Yeah, that's how you do it. Back up the ticks. Oh. Still, I mean, he's stalling energy for now. He gets one of the mexes. I mean, it's better to go E in that situation. Go for E, actually, because that's the limiting resource at this point in the game, right? And there should be a pawn somewhere soon. Playing against Alta 4, it's a bit in of adjustment. Like, you can't, because he mixes pawns into his composition, you can't really run like straight grunts across the map because they'll run into they'll run into a pawn and you'll lose it if you're not super like on top of your micro, right? So gotta be careful. And this is finally where the core player can kind of step out onto the map. And this is what I was trying to say in the first game I was playing against Kuchi, right? You want to try and take up space and just fan them out and move across the map. Sashgorn's doing a really good job of controlling here. I think he might lose this grunt. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. If you're not on top of it, he'll take you out with these random pawns. And that takes a lot of pressure off, yeah? So does Alta 4 know how many grunts are on his side of the map? And how well is he gonna deal with taking those like harassing units out while harassing? So he's already behind on metal. If you're moving towards the grunt, nice control. Yeah, see, he backs off. That's great. That's great. But now you're like forcing APM, right? When you want to be expanding. Alta 4 is still trying to find damage with these ticks. I think he might actually find this. No, Grunt's too good. But still, it's worth a try. Does this Grunt go down? Kind of missed that. I mean, if you have great micros, Sasha's doing a really good job showing why like it's so hard to play ARM versus core, man. Because if you are on top of your micro, in theory, you just should never lose any units, right? It's hard with like, you know, imperfect vision and imperfect control, but he's doing a really good job taking up space, not losing grunts to these pawns as he gets onto Alt F4 side of the map. And now this is where the pressure really starts to kind of mount, and you start having to make moves, right? Because he's getting close to this calm, right? And you need to pounce on the grunts before finds that and gets damage. But I don't think Sasha's gonna let him. Like he's over. We can see his cursor, right? Like he's over here microing. Another run by here on the right side of the map, but yeah, man, this is tough, right? They outrange these units, so he's gonna give up on microing the con. He's gonna try and get the pawns in. Okay, so Sashmoran stops microing for a second and loses, oh, just barely all the grunts. 11 hit points left. Yeah, okay, so Dr. Hoffenmeyer saying that it's hard to come back from the choice of opens. Like Sash went like 3 res pots con as an open, and just compared to the 1 res bot con Alt F4 did on that previous map, it just too much of an eco difference to kind of come back from. And once again, we see it again. The commander's just literally not moving, staying here. Wind is diving, so he knows to go. That's just crazy, right? Yeah, res grunts aren't going to stop grunts, right? And then this is, once again, the same position as last game, right? There's just grunts that can chew up all this space on the map and get as close as they want to anything like ARM has. He's going to lose his E again. This is kind of painful to watch, but I mean, this is why players don't choose to play this matchup, right? They don't want to go through this trouble like this. It's really hard to play against players this caliber level, like with ARM bots, when they're that good at micro. Literally all the units are dying. There's just nothing, right? Khan got killed on the right side. Khan's going down on the left side. The pathing is keeping it alive. And instantly starts trying to kill that con, so pretty brutal here. These Cortex runs. Alt F4 is trying to fix his E in the middle of the map and like make a game of it, right? But it is just super over. We have the stream of grunts coming out once again. Commander's assisting on the I think he might want to start thinking about a transition, right? 600 E per second. He's got 600 metal in the bank. Seshborn's going to add on another con turret, and here comes a vehicle lab. Wouldn't be surprised to see a energy storage soon. Single pawn in the back line. Did that find a con? It did. Wow. Still fighting, right? Still going. Playing like there's a match to win. He got some res bots out doing their thing, right? Still has Alt F4 still hasn't had a chance to like resurrect these mexes, but Miss B Saber's asking again, as ARM mass ticks don't even work in the long run. Yeah, that's a good point. Mass ticks don't last forever, but they do let you. This like early game, right, where there's like imperfect radar vision, there's not LLTs everywhere, you're just trying to get these raiding units out, like these 2 grunts on the right side could get cleaned up, right? A certain amount of ticks will take that out even with the micro, but that's where it becomes really tough, because like grunts that are moving back. I'm not even sure how many ticks you need starting at range on a grunt. How many ticks you need to like close this gap and kill a grunt, surround and kill a grunt. Yeah, there's something going over here. Oh, that was my ping. So yeah, the ticks do a great job of navigating that early game versus core, and then you look to make some kind of transition to vehicles, I'm thinking. But what makes arm bots much more viable is on smaller maps that you can get Centurions out on. I think this map's maybe a little, I could be proven wrong, but this map feels a tad too wide open to control with Centurions. Maybe if your opponent like goes to vehicles, because then it does get really choky, right? Then there's not many places your opponent can get through. Centurions do really well, but I could be wrong. I've been growing really fond of them, and what I'm thinking what may make Centurions strong is this shorter rush distance between the two bases. That you might be able to leverage, right? So. Some spare APM, so just targeting down the units. Mid seems pretty strong, and these are plus 2.9 mexes, right? So plus 3 mexes, not unlike what you see in a lot of maps. There's like 1.8, 2.0, 2.2, so pretty high value here. But like, look at this E production. Still not excessing. Look at that, 78k excess. What? Didn't get enough energy storage this game, so not what you want to see. Is it going to be GG? The lab goes down. He's being a little stubborn here. I think he's going to try and make a... what is it? The Osprey, the heavy transport. It's cool they added these to the game, actually, and kept the fact that you can still be mobile with the commander. Heavy transport. What is the speed? 110 compared to the 207 of the store. 309 line of sight. Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it's that Alt F4 really can't micro. It's that it's tough to do. Your opponent has a unit that's got more range, you know. So
Battle ended.
oh, blow deers here. Okay. Maybe I can lose a game real fast, end the stream, and then have something to look at for the Bar Academy. Boo. I don't want to see Heartbreak Kill. I want to see Theta Crystals with no water.
You are now playing.
Okay. What map do we want to play on here to kind of close the stream out? I swear to God. Sashcorn, do you play mostly ARM? Why don't you show us ARM versus ARM for Alt F4? That would have been fun to see. Don't really want to play Titandale. Trying to think of a map to play on. Try to see this. as well end it here. Okay. Let me grab some water real fast and we'll get into this game. So give me 1 second. It's good to see you, Shashcorn. Sorry I didn't mention that, but that was fun to cast and really cool to see the like staying in base with the commander style. I noticed you it's a you, X Factor, and Autopilot all do that. It's interesting playing on the same team. I'm not sure if that's just what you've learned from each other or just from talking with each other.
Please choose your
That's what you
starting
favor. Oh, I think
location.
I need to restart my client actually. Because I have 5 frames per second. That is not enough to play the game with. Sometimes it just fixes itself, but yeah, let me reload into the game. Let's see if this works. There we go. Loading into the lobby. Hopefully my computer can handle it. We'll see. Anyways, some things to look forward to. So on the channel, we've got coming out all of the bar fight night matches I played. I recorded those, so I've got those ready to go. Maybe the upcoming week I'll be
Please
releasing
choose your
those.
starting
And
location.